Hello, everyone. Welcome to some evening sprints Friday night reading for the Once Upon a Readathon. I have Hannah here with me tonight. Hannah, do you want to introduce yourself and your channel and maybe talk about this readathon that you started?
Yeah, sure. I'm Hannah Blackwell, and I have been hosting this Once Upon a Readathon with 16 other amazing co-hosts all month long in November. And the whole readathon is themed based on retelling, so like fairy tale retellings, folk myth retellings, but you can read anything. And there's just been a bunch of fun prompts, and we've just announced the extra challenge today, which has been really fun. And yeah, it's been a really good time so far.
It has, yeah. I've gotten 3 books down out of the 5, and it's been fun. It's been nice to get back into a readathon. I think my last one was in the summer, and it's a nice push to get some reading in.
Everyone, let us know too what you guys are reading tonight and what prompt you are on. I just finished or what step you're on. I just finished the 4th step. I read Daughter of the Forest.
Oh, nice. That's the first book in that series, right?
Yes.
By Juliet Miller? Yeah, or Miller?
Yes, and it was amazing. But I just finished this today. I read like 250 pages of it today.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
a big chunk. I had the audiobook too, so.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was so good, which I'm so happy because it was hyped in my brain for so long. Like, when you have those books that you're like, I know I'm going to love it. I'm going to love this book. So you just keep putting it off for months
Yes.
and months become years, and you just don't do it. And I was so worried. And yeah, no, I gave it 5 stars. It was absolutely, absolutely amazing.
That's awesome because, yeah, if you are so hyped for so long, there's a lot more at stake.
Totally, yeah. But it
Hi,
was really
Stephanie.
good. Everyone who recommended it to me was 100% correct. I've read
Mhm.
Juliet Murray before. This is the
Wow.
3rd book I read by her. But this is everyone's favorite.
Yeah, see, that's
Everyone's
one
favorite.
that's been on my backlog that I wanna get to, and I don't so much have the hype for it, but I know that it's gonna be one that I will eventually enjoy when I eventually get to it eventually. We've got Stephanie here with us and Anitha. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I think, Evie did a buddy read for that series a while back too, and I think quite a few people enjoyed it for the most part. And the Lost Metal. Ooh.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten into the 2nd era Mistborn because I DNF'd the 3rd Mistborn, which is not a popular opinion.
The Hero of Ages? Yeah,
I love
that's fair.
Stormlight.
That's
Love
fair.
Warbreaker.
And we've got Anitha reading Golden Fool.
Oh, nice. Is that
Very nice.
the 3rd trilogy or the 5th one?
Oh my gosh. It gets hard to keep track. I'm sure Anitha will let us know.
It's either the 3rd or the 5th. I read the 1st trilogy, and then I read Ship of Magic, and then I'm really looking forward to reading the 5th one. What am I being applauded for?
Just take the applause.
Yeah.
Don't question.
Yeah.
So okay, 2nd book in the 3rd trilogy.
3rd, okay.
Yeah. Hello. What are you reading, Indy?
What are you reading, Kayla?
Oh, I guess that's true. I am torn. So, oh, there we go. We have Anitha's answer. Uh, um, I am torn because I also have a carryover from October that I'm about an hour and a half away from finishing.
Oh, awesome.
So
What is it?
it's The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez.
Does this sound
So
familiar because I've heard you talk about it, or does this sound familiar for some other reason?
yes, because I loved The Vanished Birds by the same author, and The Spear That Cuts Through Water is their second book, but it's a fantasy instead of a sci-fi, and it was one of my most anticipated reads. Uh,
Yes, I just added this to my Goodreads TBR.
yes.
Literature Science Alliance, she was talking about it too.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people who were doing a buddy read. I was supposed to buddy read it with them, and I'm like 2 months late.
You're liking it.
Just it's good. It's taking me a while, I think, because the Simon Jimenez is known for very flowery writing and prose, which isn't bad, but there's a lot to digest when
So
you're
I might
reading.
really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. I'm enjoying it, but it's one of those books that I just need to kind of pace out, if that makes
Like
sense.
night circusy kind of flowery, or
Kind of, maybe even a little bit more flowery than that.
like whimsical?
In a way. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very, like, ethereal. It
Okay.
gives a very magical feeling to the story. Um, but yeah, it's taken me a while, so I might just finish this off so I can focus on my next prompt for the readathon, which is Declaimer's Discovery by D.T. Kane, book 2 in the Spoken Books series. So
What's that about? Spoken books sounds cool.
It's pretty interesting, actually. It is a fantasy, but basically in this world there's a hierarchy of different practitioners or magic people, if you will. Um, there's the masters, and then there's slaves. There's certain people who can cast magic just by speaking aloud from a special book, but then it also takes a certain level of skill from a different person to inscribe those books with the power needed by the speakers. And then there's just that whole master versus slave hierarchy. There's a challenge that they have to complete, quite deadly, to acquire new magic books, for example. So it's quite interesting. The first one was good, and I'm looking forward to the second one because it's apparently supposed to look a bit more in depth into the relationships between the hierarchies.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah,
That's a indie or self pattern.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we've got yeah, yeah. I'm so close to finishing it. I was so far behind.
That's the one you're gonna read tonight.
Yeah, I've got the audiobook for it too. So
Nice.
yes, I haven't been able to watch any of Evie's discussions or videos on it yet because I don't want spoilers. Um, but yeah, I will watch them after to see her thoughts. Oh, yeah, we've got some chat. So they're all going. We also have Kevin. Hello. All right. So, oh, Anitha. So the books don't speak. It's the slaves who they're basically forbidden from learning to read or write to keep them in control of the masters who read aloud to them from the books. So they have to basically copy what their master is saying from the book being read aloud, and that's what casts the magic. But part of the reason I like it too is that there's consequences to the slave if they mispronounce anything. So if their master mispronounces something, they get the backlash of it.
That's BS.
I know, but that's kind of it's higher stakes, right?
Well, yeah, that's interesting. I'm just saying that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I need to pull out my Kindle. I am reading I guess because I just finished Daughter of the Forest. Technically, I am also reading Throne of Glass
Oh, okay.
for the first time.
Nice.
Which you're probably like, what?
Oh no, I've seen that book around so often. It's just I've
No,
never picked
because
it
like
up.
you would have thought that I would have read it.
Oh,
Because I really Akatar is one of my favorite series. Crescent City's not really been like a big hit for me. I think I
okay.
gave both of the books in that series 4 stars. But I wanted to try out Throne of Glass. So I'm reading that, and then I'm reading oh my goodness. Hearts Aflame by Joanna
Oh,
Lindsay.
nice.
This 80s historical. And it's like a Viking. It's set during the same time as well, actually, I think these are both set during the same time, which is also during the same time as the Last Kingdom show,
Oh, okay.
all during the same time. So, like ninth, ninth and 10th century. Is that it? Yeah, ninth and 10th century.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Um, but this is starts out in Norway. I think Norway, and then I think that it quickly ends up in somewhere in the UK.
Very
So
nice.
I'm liking it.
You get some
And then I need to,
traveling in there.
huh?
You've got some traveling in there to go along with it.
Yeah. And then I need to pick up Daughter of the Moon Goddess because that was my poll pick. And that's what I'm going to be reading for poll pick and conflict, a book with a conflict.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So
So we
I
have a
might end
question.
up just playing Tony Hawk. I just got to switch. So
Got to be productive one way or another. Stephanie wants to know how you're liking Throne of Glass.
I'm really liking it. So I am about, I don't know, 25 or 30% of the way through. I'm a bit 113, 28%. I'm 28% in. And I'm really enjoying it. I actually technically like softy enough this 20 pages in a while back, but that was just like I was trying out a bunch of different books at the time, like what I could get into.
Mm.
But I'm really liking it now. 28% of the way in. I'm excited to kind of concentrate more on this one now that I finished Daughter of the Forest, because that one I really wanted to finish. And so I'm really liking it. Also for ND, you should definitely read Empire of Gold because that book is awesome.
I think there's a few people in the chat who would support that. And Anitha, just to answer your question here, what if the masters intentionally do it? Slaves are considered expendable here, and we're in the perspective of one of the slaves, and he's basically trying to stay alive and keep his head down. So, yeah, it's a bit of a grim situation.
Sounds like that.
Hello, Anonymous. How are you? All right. Well, did we want to just dive in and start reading, make
Yeah.
some progress? Hopefully.
I mean, like I read like so much today, so we'll see what I do.
Yeah,
Me
I
like
mean,
play a little bit of Tony Hawk, Kindle a little bit. We'll see what happens.
I say go for
Not
whatever.
Kindle. Switch. I'm so new to
Oh,
Switch. I'm such a reader. I just call it a Kindle because it's just another little electronic object.
but Kindle is preferred, clearly. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to get a 30-minute timer here going, and we will see you all after, and we'll check in. All right, welcome back. How did everyone do? And we had a few people pop in while we were reading. Hi, Urza. It's been a while. How have you been? And they're reading Cytonics. Nice. Joanna, hi. Oh, I hope you're packing lots of books to go with you.
How did you do?
I did good. I think I got about 30 pages. How about you?
Oh, cool. But are you doing the audiobook or are you like reading along with
Both. So,
thought? Okay.
yeah, immersion reading with the two of them. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to read that fast without the audio.
I did I read 10 pages, but that's because I was also playing a little bit on my Switch. So
Oh, what game did you start playing?
Tony Hawk.
Oh, okay.
I know
Nice.
everyone plays like the cozy games, and I got the cozy games, and I played a little bit of Animal Crossing and Harvestella, which are fun, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm like obsessed with Tony Hawk. I think it's like nostalgia from when I was a kid and I would play it.
Yeah, the old game. Is it remastered or is it a brand new game?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm playing the first one though, so that it gives you when you at least for the Switch, the one I have, it gives you two options, like two different versions. I don't know, with like two different. I don't know what they're called, but I'm playing the first one, the older
Nice.
one,
Okay,
the one
yeah.
I played when I was a kid.
Yes, I think I know which one you're talking about. I played that too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Me and my husband have been doing it together at night, like when the
Okay.
kids go to bed, because we tried doing puzzles, but we have 3 cats and the 2 toddlers, and so we lost pieces before we could finish 2 different puzzles, and then I was like, "Okay, let's do something else." So we've been playing Tony Hawk together, and it's actually been really fun just to, like, go back and forth and, like, try to meet goals together and, like, try to beat each other's score, and it's been a good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, my other half and I, we try and do that, but we do it with a couple different games, but the big one is Mario Party.
Oh!
Yeah, it's fun, but we get competitive and we probably shouldn't.
But that it's fun though. That's
It
awesome.
it is, yeah. Hi, Rich. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, you starting the Lost Metal. Nice. I'm so far behind that. I will probably read that in like 3 years time from now.
Everyone talks about how, like, trying to, like, read the Cosmere in order and all this stuff, and
Mm.
I I'm planning on just continuing on with all of the other series without reading Mistborn, so
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's just
he
different types
times
of
that up
readers.
to where it's not necessary, it's just extra little tidbits that you can, like, pick up, but it's not, like, plot-wise necessary, you know?
Exactly. It's just the little hints and drops that you wanna if people wanna pick it up in order. Yeah.
I can't think of the name for that.
Oh, I have no idea.
There's a name for it, I just can't think of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I would be happy to learn said name for this.
It's like when you have multiple series and there's things in each of the series that you can catch that tie them together,
Oh.
there's a word for it, and I just can't
Oh,
think of it.
okay.
If
Oh,
anyone in the
someone
chat knows that word, please let me know because I'm completely drawing a blank, but there's definitely a word for it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Thank
Easter eggs.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, Easter eggs.
Perfect. Thank you. Also, hello.
Yeah, that's it, Easter eggs.
Yeah. Nice. Everyone's reading it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 30 minutes of the audiobook for Lost Metal. Ooh, knitting. Nice. Which pattern are you using, Stephanie? I
I've
have
done
a
some knitting, but
dishcloth.
huh?
I have a dishcloth on my desk that I'm also working on.
And that's why I want to still continue in learning how to knit because I did buy like cotton yarn for making dish towels and stuff.
Oh,
I
nice.
want them to be knitted, but I generally crochet.
Yeah.
Um, not the best knitter.
I primarily crocheted before, as you can kind of see on the back of my chair, and it took me a long time to learn how to knit, but it's so rewarding, in all honesty. I love both now because I feel like knitting can be used to accomplish certain patterns that crochet doesn't work well for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Evie, hello. You are in time because I am finally hopefully wrapping this up.
Mhm.
For those who don't know, Evie very kindly gifted me this copy, so very nice, very sweet.
I want to read that.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I feel like Simon Amenes does a good job at pulling at your emotions, really immersing you in the world. But what I'm finding with this one is that I'm invested, but I'm waiting for a bit more of an emotional connection. And I feel like that's going to happen in the last little bit. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. We'll find out. It's a pattern I found on Ravelry. That is a dangerous website.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one, though.
Nice. I'm going to have to look that up later. I'm curious to see what it looks like.
What I'm working on right now, I've been working on for like probably 3 years. And it's this blanket.
Oh, nice. It's got the bubble stitching and stuff too.
Yeah, I
Nice.
did the pattern myself, but it's all different stuff. I'm almost done, but I accidentally basically made it a king size.
That's a lot of yarn.
So it's taking a while.
Yeah. I imagine I made not a king size blanket. It was like a twin size length, but extra long for my tall other half. And that took me almost a year.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like I'll put it down and not crochet for months on end.
Yeah.
And then I'll go pick it up again and then I'll not, so it's just when it happens. So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I am enjoying it. I feel like something's slightly missing compared to the Vanished Birds, at least with the emotional connection. So I'm in the 5th day right now. I'm hoping that last little bit will come at the end, but otherwise, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's different. It took me a while to kind of settle into the storytelling method of it. That's the only way I can really describe it at the moment. Ooh, sewing. Yeah. You're a step ahead, Rich. I cannot sew and I cannot hem pants.
my mom is a sewer. My grandmother, she was like an old like classic Christian, like super deep South Christian woman,
Mm.
and her and her husband were both like very entrepreneurial.
Mm.
So she actually she had a side business where she would make lingerie for the church wives.
Oh my god.
And
That's awesome.
I still remember going there and like sitting on her lap and like playing with the end pieces and all the little tidbits. My mom, she quilts and she quilts, crochets, knits, and does all that, but her favorite thing
Mm.
is quilting.
Yeah.
But sewing it's never been something that I was able to fully get into. I've
Mm.
tried, but I don't know what it is. There's so much planning involved and not an
Mm.
immediate gratification of saying, "Okay, I've made another line of this blanket," right?
Yeah.
There's all the cutting and the planning and the measuring
Yeah.
and the patterns and geometry, and I
Yes.
don't like math.
Yeah, my nan and my papa, they work together. So my papa is good at all the math and the geometry, so he cuts everything for my nan, and my nan just sews it all together.
No.
And that's how they work together to make blankets and all
That's
these quilted
amazing.
stuff. Yeah.
That is so cool. I've never heard
Yeah.
of a couple doing that too. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice because then it's from both of them, right, when they make something?
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
We have a few people who love your blanket.
Oh, thank you.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. YouTube was a huge help in learning how to read patterns, like YouTube is for a lot of things.
Mhm.
Don't know how, but Simon and Mayonnaise managed to make me love Spear more than Vanished Birds. Ooh, I know, and you love the Vanished Birds. All right. I'm saving your discussion videos for later after I finish the book, Evie. So I'm really eager to see what you thought of it, aside from this. You're okay. So Rich says, my wife used to make dresses, made her sister's wedding dress. Oh, that's really sweet.
Wow.
Worked at Buyer's Choice for a while, so I have all sorts of stuff I barely understand. Yeah. I was put into a one of those like sewing summer camps to as like a kid to try and teach kids to learn how to sew and make clothes and things like that. Um, I think I made pants, but I measured wrong, so they were too small, so I could never wear them. So I came home from summer camp with nothing
But
that
you still
was
made them,
usable.
right? Would they
I
fit
still
like a doll or something?
No, they were like a size too big. So they were just like a
Oh,
pair of pants sitting in my closet forever that was never going to be worn.
did you get to eventually wear them then if they were too big?
Oh, sorry, I was too big. So the pants were
Oh,
too
okay.
small.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
I did try and make another pair after summer camp, but I think I did something wrong with the machine because the needle came down and like split in half and flew up my face. I've never sewn since. So, mayhem.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, that would be so much fun, Evie. Yeah, I feel like this is one I need to talk about to get all the nuance out of.
Did Evie say what she was reading?
No, Evie, what are you reading? Are you reading another hefty classic? Or are you reading some fantasy?
So I am planning next year to really concentrate primarily on SFF and
Mm.
SFF romance
Oh,
because
nice.
I was doing my final lists, like trying to get ready for end of year content, right? So I'm
Hmm.
making my list like best, worst, and series I want to read and like everything like that. And when I was making my lists, I saw that I had a whole lot of fantasy on my favorites, and I had a sci-fi on there, and I think I had a thriller or a horror, I can't remember, or maybe a thriller and a horror. But then on my least favorite, like on my like most disappointing reads, I didn't have a single epic fantasy.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and then I had a good amount of like thrillers. And then I had some
Mm.
romance, but like romance for me, that's totally hit or miss, right? But it's
Yeah.
always fun, usually. But so I was like, I'm gonna try to just concentrate on the ones that on the books, the genres that I know for sure are gonna give me what I'm wanting out of a book, right?
Hmm.
I like thrillers, but it's very rare for a thriller to wow me. And
Mm.
it's like way more likely for a fantasy or a sci-fi to.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm kind of gonna be like concentrating that on that more next year.
Yeah, especially if you're looking at reading for the competitions, that's a big commitment, right? If you're pulling in some of those.
Hmm?
The Are you talking about just the genres or there are competitions? Sorry, there's acronyms for so many different things now because like SPFBO.
No, SFF.
SFF. Okay.
Yeah, just like no, sorry. I know what you're talking about.
There's so many.
No, just science fiction fantasy
Oh,
genre,
okay.
like just actual just so fantasy and sci-fi and then fantasy romance, sci-fi like
Nice.
romance, I think are gonna be my concentrations next year, especially with the Malazan read along. And I have soon here coming out an announcement for another one for a very popular fantasy romance series
Oh, wow.
with some friends that we're gonna be
You're
reading. And I really want to get into Wheel of Time.
mm. There's
I
a
want
read
to get
along going on for that starting in January too.
yes. Are you talking about oh,
Kate from the Literary Apothecary, Leslie, Nerdy Narrative, Anitha.
okay, they're
Um,
doing one, but
yeah.
also Got a Thing for Things and Cassidy and Back on the Books and Mel Lenore Reads. They're also doing a
Oh,
read.
wow.
Yeah, but theirs is going to be every 2 months is a book.
Okay.
And I think their first live show for the first book is in February.
Okay.
They're going to be doing it more
Okay.
slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, which, I mean, from what I've heard, it's pretty, like Malazan or Malazan, it's pretty hefty.
It is. I read the first book and I really enjoyed it, and I just really want to continue. There's
Yeah.
just so many that I just want to get to, and I'm just like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I don't like to talk about how many books are on my TBR at this point. It's dangerous. Emily working on Becca Cooper Terrier by Tamora Pierce. Very nice. I haven't heard that author's name in so long. She used to be a very popular author when I was in high school. So like everyone I knew was reading her books at the time, but it's been a long time since I've heard her name. Back to the Stone Boatman by Sarah Talmy. Oh, I was playing video games before this. Which video game, Evie? Also, did I miss the standing announcement?
You did not. I can give it. So this is for the Once Upon a Readathon standings for the teams. I did all of the calculating today. So really interesting. I feel like this is kind of anticlimactic, but the standings technically have not changed. But the percentages definitely have. And I didn't do them, but I'm telling you, I'm looking at the numbers and they're way different in terms of, so we've got fairy godmothers are in first place, but the princesses are just right behind them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like maybe 5% behind them, maybe not less than that. I probably should have done the percentages, but I did not. Okay, so the princesses have gained majorly. The fairy godmothers last update had a really big margin of winning. Huntsmen are in third place, wolves are in fourth, and the witches are in fifth, but the witches have closed the gap on the wolves and they're like just right behind them as well. So
Nice.
first and second place are very close. They're like really, really close. And same with fourth and fifth place are super, super, super close.
Yeah,
So
I've been seeing some people going through the steps twice already. So there, and it's 5 steps, so 5 books per round, I guess, right?
yeah, I think that's what the people are going through it very quickly, are
Yeah.
doubling, tripling up on the
Yeah.
prompts and going through really quickly.
Mm.
Which you don't have to do it that way.
No, but
I'm
it's a
on
smart way to
the
do it.
yeah, I'm just finished the fourth step. Throne of Glass is actually just me picking up a prompt from a previous step, and then I'll be doing the fifth step. But yeah, some people have been going through like multiple times and just doing amazing.
Yeah, I cannot keep up with that pace, but I definitely admire it. Emily, I can usually figure out the twist and thrillers except for The Sculptress by Minette Walters. Nice.
For me, it's like 50-50 maybe. Uh, for me to really give a thriller a 5-star, I like there to be like a some kind of commentary, social or cultural commentary
Hmm.
in there as well. Like the thriller, there's a thriller that's definitely a favorite of mine from this year. And oh my god, I can't think of the name right now. But it had a bunch of gender commentary and commentary on sexual assault culture in the United States.
Hmm.
And another one that I really liked this year was Stay Awake by Megan Golden, and that had some commentary in it as well. The Last Housewife. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. That was a 5-star that will stick in my brain for a very long time.
Hmm.
But oftentimes they're good palate cleansers for me, especially.
Yeah.
So but I don't think I'll spend whole months reading a whole bunch of thrillers and really like prioritizing thrillers next year. I think
Right.
I'm just gonna like maybe one a month or something like that as like a palate cleanser kind of thing. I don't know.
As you're feeling the mood for it, right?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
prioritize them as much, or I probably won't do like reading vlogs on thrillers, um, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Evie, Throne of Glass. Yes. That's the one you're reading right now, right?
I am reading Throne of Glass right now.
And
If
Returnal
that's
was
not if she's asking if that's what the read along is gonna be, no,
oh,
it's not.
okay. Returnal, I'm assuming that's the video game. That sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to look that up to see what it is, Evie, because it has been a long time since I played anything other than Nintendo Switch games. A light in the flame, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, go fairy godmothers. I mean, I'm impartial
They're
to
hanging on
witches,
by a thread
but
with that first place right now.
oh, okay, well,
They had
yeah,
they were winning by like they had like a 20% margin there for and then they don't anymore.
yeah.
Same
Well,
with the 4th and 5th place. So we'll see. I have a feeling it's gonna change a lot, especially after the second challenge. So
I think I know I was behind on entering some of my books, so I got those entered in. So who knows? Everything could change by the end.
yeah, I
All
did these
right.
numbers this morning.
Okay, nice. All right, so should we jump into another sprint?
Mhm.
And this one will probably be the last sprint because I imagine we'll get into some conversation after as well.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Happy reading, everyone. Welcome back. How'd you do, Hannah?
I did nothing.
Did you get more Tony Hawkin?
I did that.
That's good. You gotta sometimes you need a break
I
from
did
reading.
so much reading today that I was just like,
I get it. Yeah, so you can't burn yourself out, especially in a readathon. You got to keep that pace up.
and my reading has been like pretty low this month. That was actually only the 5th book I've finished this month, which is pretty low for me.
Okay. How many do you normally read? Like 12 or so?
Yeah, 12.
10 to 12? Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
10 to 15, sometimes a little bit
Okay.
more, but I would say 12 is my average.
That's pretty good. My average is about 5, 4 or 5.
But I'm thinking it's going to lower though next year
Yeah. Okay.
because I'm going to be not reading as many thrillers.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
But we'll see because I'll still be reading probably about the same amount of romance.
Mm.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, if you've got like a 4 or 5 book span there each month, then you'll probably be about the same. Yeah. Um,
How'd you
I
do?
yeah, I got about 25-ish pages and very, very close to the end there.
Looks like
So
it.
I'm hoping to, uh, if I don't finish it later tonight, I will probably finish it tomorrow. I am notorious for falling asleep while I read. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, even if I sit down and try and read more tonight, I might fall asleep while reading it.
I don't do that, but my sister has always done that. I have problems falling asleep. I have really bad GAD, like anxiety disorder. So
Right.
I that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get my brain to shut off
Right.
to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. If that's something you struggle with, I know I have a few people I know who have insomnia. Very tricky for them to get any sleep. They're lucky if they get like 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, mine's not that bad. The issue is
Okay.
falling asleep.
Yeah. Okay. Same concept with them too.
Yeah, it takes me longer, I think, than most people. Oftentimes it'll take me like 2 or 3 hours, you know?
Yeah. So you're the one sitting there going, just one more page, just one more chapter. Katie got 18 pages read. That's good.
Awesome. What are you reading? I don't know if I missed that earlier, what she was reading.
I think she was reading A Light in the Flame.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna be doing sprints tomorrow on my channel at 7 o'clock. And I have a few people joining me. Are you gonna be joining me? Sorry, I'm like putting you on the spot live right now.
No, that's okay. I won't be able to. I have something pre-booked, but
But I know that's cool. I know that Kristen Craves Books is going to be on there, and then Grace is going to be on there, and then possibly a couple others. So that's going to be 7 Eastern time.
and that's PM, right?
7 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the last 2 Saturday ones I did were like afternoon, like 1 p.m.
Right.
And the next Saturday is going to be at 1 p.m. But there's a library book sale tomorrow, and I need to do my Thanksgiving shopping. So
That takes priority.
yeah, it's gonna be 7 p.m.
Are you going to be sharing which books you ended up buying in the live stream?
We'll see.
Okay.
I've never done a library book sale before,
Oh, okay.
and I don't know how it's gonna go. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping to find some good stuff.
Yeah, I think it depends on how it's run. Like I know we just had one here a few weeks ago, and it was all by donations from the community, and the library was just taking donations, so you could pay however much you wanted for whatever you were buying.
Okay.
And they had a pretty wide variety of books, actually, considering it's like a smaller town, so not many people in our areas read a lot of sci-fi, fantasy. Usually it's classics, romance, nonfiction, things like that. But they had every genre you could imagine, which was very impressive.
Awesome.
So hopefully it's like that.
I hope.
I'm glad I'm not alone, Katie.
And I didn't even make my Thanksgiving shopping list, so I'm like,
Oh, or do you guys do a big meal?
I am a Thanksgiving like lover. So,
Nice.
but we usually host one and we usually have friends over. We're not doing that this year. It's just gonna be the four of us. So I think I'm just gonna do like the basic dishes that I do every year, which I
Mm,
already know the recipes, so I should be able to like shop mostly everything I need with only a few oopsies.
yeah. I mean, as long as you have the volume on most
Lots of
things.
butter.
Yeah, exactly. Gravy, gotta have lots of gravy. Yeah, Stephanie, 30 more minutes of the Lost Metal. Nice. I really want to finish tonight, but I don't think I'll make it. Yep. Downside of late night reading. Well, late night for me, old lady.
Trust me, I get it. Like I used to go to bed 8:30, 9 o'clock every night
Mm,
for probably the first year and a half that I had Jonah. And then for a while after having both of them too. And now I go to bed between 10 and 11, but still some
yeah.
nights I go to bed earlier. But it takes a while after having your first kid to, and then or any kid to get,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, exactly.
everything kind of situated. It's, man, little ones they're
Disruptive.
tough. This is why I have the wine. They're a lot. It's a lot. They're
It is a lot.
amazing, but it's definitely
Yeah.
audiobooks are helpful.
Yeah, for, like yeah, it's just disruptive sleep sometimes, with their teething too. Even if you don't go in to check on them, you know they're okay, they're just waking up and they're upset because 'cause they're awake. They eventually go back to sleep, but then you're awake and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
"Okay, um,
Oh, yeah.
waiting to fall back asleep
And
at
we
bedtime."
actually just transitioned our boys to sharing a room, and that's
Mm,
created a whole 'nother issue because when one wakes up, the other one does. And so if Noah wakes up, Jonah, my oldest, generally kind of ignores him.
mm,
If Jonah wakes up, Noah, my youngest, wakes up, and then getting him back to sleep is near impossible.
yeah,
Um,
and then you get the overtired if they don't go back to sleep.
well, that and yeah, and now Jonah's not napping, and Noah, when Jonah dropped his last nap, Noah started transitioning from 2 to 1 naps. Oh
Mm.
God, that was awful. That was like the worst.
Yeah, I can only imagine it. I've only had 1, and I can't imagine trying to manage 2 sleeping
I was like, those guys
schedules.
are really close together. You're like 18 months apart. That's great.
So much easier, isn't it?
Oh, it'll be great. Just get it over with.
I'm good with 1.
Maybe eventually it'll be great. For now, it's like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly, just gotta get through it.
but they're too cute.
Oh, definitely.
My mom says it's their
Oh,
defense mechanism.
okay. Emily, I hope you feel better. Migraines are no
Ugh.
fun.
I had really bad pregnancy migraines with both of mine.
Yeah, that's bad because you can't really take much when that
Can't take
happens.
anything. You can take only Tylenol, but Tylenol's never done anything for headaches for me. Uh,
Oh, no.
and yeah, I had to both of them. I found it the first time. Eventually, I went on a vitamin regimen of magnesium and B, whichever B is the riboflavin, ribo,
Beets. I don't know. I
whichever
could
B
make a
that
guess.
is. There's a certain combination that you take that helps with hormonal migraines,
Okay.
and so that was helpful, but it only in a preventative measure, so
Mm,
I would still get them, but just less of them,
right.
but it was still really bad.
Oh, yeah. No, I luckily did not have that, but I had what was it? Trying to remember now. Low blood pressure.
Ooh.
So I couldn't be in heat because that would make me dizzy and faint, and I'd have to sit down. Had to be careful getting up and down, stuff like that. So it was really tricky in the summer because I basically couldn't go outside with the heat that we had. Katie, my brother and I were 19 months apart, and my mom said it would have been easier if we were twins. I don't know about that. I've known quite a few people who've had twins, and their opinions are about the same.
Mine are technically 20 months apart. We were going for 18 months apart, but yeah, it's
Yep.
yeah, ice pack and yeah,
Yeah.
essential oils are something that I use a lot. And I used lavender, but I know that a lot of people like
Mm,
peppermint oil for headaches. For me, it doesn't work as well. I use lavender. But that's good that you found some different ways to deal with it. Yeah, ice pack on
definitely.
the side. Like I would get it right here, and then like
Yeah.
dark and then some lavender oil. And just
Yeah.
try to sleep.
That's the thing is you can try to sleep, but that migraine's gonna keep you awake a lot of the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't generally get a lot of migraines, but I get frequent headaches.
Mm.
So, Tylenol's my go-to.
Yeah, migraines are,
They're terrible.
oof. Yeah, everyone's different.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people peppermint is like I think peppermint naturally is a go-to. Um, Mine is just a personal. Some people just
Mm.
have different things that work for different things.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's different.
But I hope you feel better.
Um, definitely. Yeah, I hope it passes soon.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I think we will wrap it up. And like you said, Hannah, you've got a reading sprint tomorrow as well.
Mhm.
Possibly some Tony Hawk video games there too. Who knows?
I'm gonna try to get some reading done during that one because I know I'm not gonna be reading during the day tomorrow because I have so much
Oh,
going on. So I think my majority of my reading for tomorrow is gonna be during sprints. So
okay.
I'll
Nice.
I'll be reading.
Nice. Awesome. Both are fun.
I say
So
that, but I mean,
if I pop in and you're playing Tony Hawk, I'm going to remind you of this conversation. So thank you, everyone, for stopping in today and reading with us or being productive in whatever you were doing. If you have not already checked out the Once Upon a Readathon, I believe there's information down in the description of this video. So if you want to join in, if you want to take part, stop on
Mhm.
by at the Discord and read along with us. And I'm just going to pitch you should join Team Witches. I'm just biased, but it's a good team.
Definitely join late and just like backlog as long as it's in order, like backlog your books.
Exactly. Yeah, so definitely time to jump in still. I think the last date is November 30th.
Whatever the last day in November is.
Last day of November. So November 30th is the last day to join us in this readathon about fairy tales and retellings. In the meantime, happy reading and thanks for joining us. And of course, check out Hannah. Check out Hannah's channel. I have her stuff in the video in the description too.
Thank you.
Bye.